You ready? Okay. All right. So these feet are actually pretty good. We're not everything, but we've got a lot. All right. So we've got how many layers in the feet? 4, right? So in the first layer, we have what? 2 abductors and a flexor. Okay. So the first muscle we have, and you can actually see it really nicely over here. Sorry. That's the abductor hallucis, right? On this one, it's right here. It's just not as well dissected. All right. The other abductor would be the abductor digiti minimi, okay, which would be over here. All right. They both attach on the calcaneus and come up here on the abductor hallucis on the medial side of the base of the proximal phalanx. All right. Abductor digiti minimi, same thing. Okay. And abduction is away from what digit? What digit's home in the foot? 2. Right? So abduction of the great toe is going to be this way medially, and abduction of the 5th digit is going to be towards the lateral side. Okay? Good? So those are the 2 abductors, and then the flexor is the flexor digitorum brevis.
Push.
Just prove with other device. Yeah, that should go away. There you go. Sorry. All right, so that's flexor digitorum brevis that attaches again on the calcaneus. It's going to come up and have tendons that go out. And where are they going to attach? Where are they going to end? Flexor digitorum brevis is just like what in the hand? Flexor digitorum superficialis. Okay? All right, good. So it's going to end at the base of the middle phalanx, right? So it's going to be the short toe flexor. Okay? All right, so let's go over to this foot for the rest. Okay? So that's the flexor digitorum brevis on this side. All right? And we're going to peel that back. All right? And so you can see the abductor digiti minimi, abductor hallucis. All right? So that's layer 1. Layer 2, what do we have? 2 tendons, 2 muscles. All right? So all of the tendons are associated with the long toe flexors. Okay? So what you see here, this is your flexor digitorum longus, right? Which came from where? It was in what compartment in the leg? Posterior compartment. And that deep portion of the posterior compartment wraps around the medial malleolus, right, with Tom, Dick, and Harry, okay? And then comes out, and it's going to go to the base of the distal phalanx, okay? Then we also have the flexor hallucis longus, all right? So the tendon of the flexor hallucis longus and the tendons of the flexor digitorum, right? Because remember those 2 tendons, their muscle bellies are both in the posterior compartment, okay? Then we have 2 muscles associated with those tendons, all right? Remember these guys right here? They are our what? They're attached to the tendons of the long toe flexors, and their distal attachment is in the dorsal digital expansion. So they are lumbricals. Good. Okay? And how many lumbricals should there be? 4. Okay? And are they on which side of the digit or the tendon? There should be on the... They should be just like in the hand, like on the thumb side or radial side. They're going to be on the great toe side. Okay? All right? So medial side of this time. Okay? Even though that was lateral in the hand, it's towards the thumb or towards the great toe. Okay? So we should have 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're missing a couple over here, but we've got 2 on the digits 2 and 3. Okay? So that's the one muscle associated with the tendon. The other one is this guy that's been cut here, and it's called the, you just said it.
I just forgot what I said.
Starts with a Q. Quadratus plantar, right? And the function of that muscle attaches to the calcaneus and then into the tendons. It does what? It corrects the line of pull, right? Because if this just pulled this way, which way would the toes flex? They would flex diagonally, but we want them to do a nice flexion in the sagittal plane, all right? So that helps as those toes are flexing to help them stay in the sagittal plane, okay? All right, so that's layer 2, all right? Layer 3, what do we got? No, that's the deepest layer, it's the underarm side. So in layer 1, we had 2 abductors and a flexor. In layer 3, we have 2 flexors and an adductor, okay? So the 2 flexors are, one again with the hallucis. We've got the flexor hallucis brevis, right? This is the longest. This would be the brevis, and we should have 2 muscle bellies of the brevis, right? Remember, what's unique about those muscles as they cross the first MTP joint? It's one muscle, but it's got 2 different tendons. What's in those tendons? Sesamoid bones, right? Okay. All right, so that's flexor hallucis brevis, all right? And then we should have over here flexor digiti minimi, okay? So we had abductor hallucis, abductor digiti minimi, in layer 3 we've got flexor hallucis, flexor digiti minimi, okay? And then also we have the adductor hallucis, all right? Remember, that's the one that looks like a 7, all right? It's got 2 heads. It's got the transverse head, which you can see some of the fibers of it here, and the oblique head here, okay? And they're both going to attach on the lateral side of the base of the middle phalanx, right? Okay? Because they're going to do what? They're going to adduct. So they're going to pull that great toe towards digit 2. Okay? Good. All right? And then you can see deep in there, you can see some plantar interossi. All right? The dorsal interossi would be where? On the dorsal side, right? Okay, so the dorsal and plantar interossi are going to be in layer 4. Okay? So the plantar interossi, what are they going to do? They're going to abduct or adduct? Adduct. Good. Okay? So how many plantar interossi should there be? 3. Okay? So is there one associated with digit 1? No, because it has its own adductor, right? Okay? Is there any associated with digit 2? No, because it does what? It abducts 2 ways, right? Okay? And then we should have one associated with digit 3 on which side? Medial or lateral? Medial, to pull it towards digit 2, right? One on the medial side of digit 4. Same thing, one on the medial side of digit 5. Good? All right? So then how many dorsal interossi should I have? 4. Right. Okay. So does digit 1 need one? No, because it has the, over here, abductor hallucis. Okay. Digit 2 should have how many? 2. Abduct medially, abduct laterally. And then 3 and 4 each have one, right? On the lateral side. And then does digit 5 have one? No, because it's got the abductor digiti minimi. Okay? So very similar to the hand, except that home is digit 2 versus digit 3. Okay? The other thing that this has is coming around the medial malleolus should be an artery and a nerve. Okay? And so this is the artery. What artery should that be? Should be the posterior tibial artery. Remember? The popliteal artery splits into anterior tibial and posterior tibial. So posterior tibial travels all the way down the posterior compartment around here, and then deep to the abductor hallucis, it's going to split into a lateral plantar artery, and what's missing here would be the medial plantar artery. Okay? And then those come together to form the arch. Okay? The plantar arch. Okay? And then, so that's the posterior tibial artery, but what nerve travels with it? The tibial nerve, right? Okay? Remember, sciatic divides into common fibular and tibial. Good. Okay? So this is the tibial nerve that's then going to divide into medial plantar and lateral plantar. All right? Medial plantar is a lot like what nerve in the hand? It's a lot like median, right? Okay? So it's going to provide cutaneous innervation to how much of the foot? Yes, the sort of medial side and medial 3.5 digits. Lateral plantar is more like the ulnar, okay? It provides cutaneous innervation to the lateral 1.5, okay? So medial plantar in terms of muscles, what does it innervate? Muscles associated with the hallucis, so those medial group of muscles, okay? And one lumbrical, okay? And then the lateral plantar innervates just about everything else, okay? Innervates the lateral group, and then the adductor hallucis, all right? dorsal and plantar interossi. All right. The exception is flexor digitorum brevis is innervated by what? Medial or lateral? Medial. Very good. You had a 50-50 shot. You got it right. Okay. Yeah. So that's your foot. Okay. All right. So these are pretty good. They're not as dried out. Okay. All right. Gracias.